Well, that's where we are now, guys. That if you are not super ultra woke, well, you're one of them now. Who's them? I don't know. And then we have them, if what we're calling them, white nationalists. If you don't agree with them on everything, and I mean literally A to Z, you're one of them. You're a POS. You're a trans. You're one of the communists. Need to get rid of you. I would have to say, I guess, man carrying thing, and I'm responding to his Superman video in media literacy. So let's get right to it. So this is not the recent official trailer. This is the older trailer where we saw Crypto. Basically, a lot of the Snyder fans, and not just Snyder fans, were making fun of the trailer, and I agree, it was a very weak trailer. But man here is like, guys, you don't understand. You don't understand stuff. You're not a real film bro with a brain. I am.
Like comically over the top, and I think that's the point. What I settled on was that the people who didn't understand this moment either just thought it was a stupid joke, but are acting like it doesn't make sense, or B, are programmed to believe Superman is an inherently serious piece of media and cannot fathom any comedy connected to the character. This is typical.
Well, I don't even know where to begin with this. So the problem here, and by the way, let me be very clear. He did an excellent video on Wheel of Time, very powerful video, and he does a lot of things I like, and he clearly knows many things, and he's very intelligent. But he needs to stop with this whole guys, I know stuff. No, honey, I don't think you do know stuff. I know stuff. I know stuff way more than you. So I've read Derrida, I've read Foucault, I've read Chomsky, I've read Barthes in the original French. I can read Rousseau. I can read Nietzsche. So don't talk to me about media literacy. I don't think the critique of the Superman trailer was, I don't think these Snyder Bros get stuff. Yeah, it's supposed to be funny. And these people don't think Superman can be funny. No, honey. No, honey. We know this. The Snyder Cut had jokes. Man of Steel had jokes. BVS had jokes. I can contemplate. I've read tons of Superman comics. Saw the cartoon series. Saw the JLU. I've even done hardcore research into Superman. Like, you know where Superman comes from? You know where it comes from? Like the Bible from Nietzsche. I can read the Bible in the original Greek. Can you do that? Probably not. Okay, then. So I can contemplate Diaper Man being silly, of course. Superman has many varieties. It is still fine to make fun of the trailer for showing Superman. And again, now we have the official trailer. I think James Gunn went a little too far. Right. To me, the core of the mythology is actually pretty serious. And Film Bro, media literacy guy here, it's Superman. He doesn't seem to know Superman's actual origins. Guys, Superman started off as a noir hero. He didn't fly in the air. Was it truth, justice, American way? That came later. Most of the things you see with Superman, him flying, American flag, that is not true to the character. That is not canonical. Those are things added to the character. So if you're going to make these claims about Superman, maybe know what Superman is. He does this all the time. And by the way, he had this recent thing happen where he defended Metropolis. Okay, and I'm not going to get into the, he's protecting predators. But by the way, two things. Apparently, there's a lot of scandals with Metropolis with women in France. He could be totally innocent. There's good counter evidence he was totally innocent of that. However, Francis has a very bad, ugly record. He does. He has a very bad record of helping predators, covering up crimes. He's got a very bad record. I'm not saying man here is a predator. I'm just saying he's being a little stupid. Okay, so which I appreciate. So he was like, "Oh, Metropolis is so edgy. It's experimental. It's amazing." I saw Metropolis. Megapolis. It's sorry, Metropolis is the classic film. Anyway, Megalopolis or whatever it is. Um, Yeah, I thought it was still garbage. Now, does it have some interesting experimental moments? Absolutely. But it looks, feels, I mean, there's just so many problems with it. The powers, the way they work, the characters are lame, the dialogue is silly. I don't mind political allegory. I defend the prequel. I appreciate what Francis was trying to do, make a direct analogy about corruption and America being the Roman Empire in decline, which is true. It is an imperialist fascist corporation that is mass murdering tons of people. I appreciate the political point being made. But if you want a serious case against fascism that is very experimental, but using genre, see the Star Wars prequels or see Andor. Andor just did this. Now, I wish it was more experimental. There's many experimental things in Andor. It's a very excellent political case against fascism. It's also really good. It's probably one of the best pieces of work in recent media. Two things can be true. You can appreciate something that's experimental, but pretty terrible. You can also say the experimental thing tried. And man carrying thing was like, oh, I would rather have this Anakin than another MCU film. You're free to do that. I'm free to tell you. Again, I'm not a big fan of Thunderbolts. I thought it was very underwhelming. I thought it was below average. However, I would also say Thunderbolts is actually 3 times better than mega moronic Francis Vision Gone Wrong. I appreciate what Francis did. I cannot support financially what he did because I'm not even joking, he's helping Scientology too. Yeah, he hired a Scientologist. So he just did so many wacky political, ethical things with that film. I don't think I can support it. But I do think I would recommend people see it. It is not a good film. It's garbage, but it's interesting garbage. But man was like, oh my god, people said I was stupid for liking. Oh my god, Mega Lapo whatever is really experiment. It's really deep, guys. We just lost David Lynch, guys. It was very artistic. It was very artistic. It was also stupid. You're very artistic. You're being very stupid. Listen, I know stuff. I know Superman. I know the Superman comics. I know the Superman cartoons. I know the Superman mythology. I know the mythology is based on the Superman mythology in different languages. If you don't like the Snyder people, that is fine. Address their points seriously. Stop with all this, guys. It's a silly dog. Also, Crypto doesn't look like that. Do you know anything you're talking about? You just seem like a clown. And I get it. The megalopolis blacklash, whatever, disturbed you. Like, usually, every time I say MCU stupid, everyone says, oh my God, you're a genius. Listen, I like the guy. He's a good guy. He does some really good reviews, but he gets lazy a lot. He just gets lazy. Guys, everyone knows MCU's stupid. Dune is the best thing ever. And, like, yeah, Francis Ford Coppola, he's auteur genius. Now, listen, I'm very critical of George Lucas, but if this is what you want, a really interesting anti fascist fiction mixing genre and experimentation, go to the prequels. That is much, even with all their flaws, they have very many flaws, way better than Mega Slopolis. Also, Lucas did many bad things, horrible things. He didn't full on protect predators. You can say many bad things about George Lucas. He didn't do that. So, woke boy here is literally urging people to pay for and support Francis helping predators over George Lucas, who did not help Predator. It's like this brainless here is just you're just bandwagoning. I'm actually excited for Superman now. I think it may be good, but I still think it will be terrible in many ways. Two things can be true: learn to live with criticism and stop going with other guys. I think um, people who don't like this are the alt right bros. That may be true. I don't care. Judge the film and judge it on its own merits. You can do both. But clearly, the Snyder fandom is driving some of these woke morons crazy. Shut up, address the points, but stop saying, I'm media genius boy. You're not. You're a rank amateur. Deal with it.